Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about cars and trucks and SUVs and dogs and motorcycles and the state of the times. Look at this beautiful Jeep Grand Cherokee. This is such a nice car. It really is. I mean, I need to drive this car. Wow, this thing's got V8 motor in it. Boy, V8, I mean, this thing has a V8 motor. Are you kidding me? Man, it's just maddening. This is just maddening. I washed the car. Washed. People say I spell it like the washed. So, wow. I just can't get over how nice this car is. I spent a lot of time yesterday cleaning this car. And hey, good morning, those that follow me in my YouTube channel. Appreciate you tuning in this morning and listening to my conversation and views and ideas. And hey, if you have any friends, ask them to check out the channel. Maybe get some ideas and views and thoughts. Come on, pups. Come on. Which this is maddening. It's just maddening. Yes. You're probably hearing the word maddening. I spent the evening cleaning the Jeep. I spent yesterday, the day prior, cleaning up the race truck. I just love that truck. That thing is so much fun. Come on, pups. And then, as we come around yonder here, we see the Mustang. I cleaned up the Mustang. Come on, pups. Come on, Will. Come on, let's go. Come on. There's Ginger. She wants to attack the big boy. Come on, boy. Yeah. Good pups. Yeah, so then, I cleaned up the truck. And can't park it back here. Park it back here. All the birds crap all over it. This is a total path, the escape for the birds living on my farm. But here's another thing. Cleaned up the daughter's car. She was a little at first irritated. I took it upon myself to clean her car. See this Harley Davidson thing? This is maddening. I got this jacket years ago. I could never find the dang thing. I just found it this morning. In my bathroom. It's like my wife has been hiding this jacket. This is one of my favorite Harley jackets. Yeah. So here's the Mustang. I left it in the garage after I detailed the whole thing. I mean, I washed and waxed this thing last night. Oh my goodness, this keeps you in shape. Believe it or not, until you go and wash your car, until you really do the whole 9 yards and clean the interior, vacuum it, windows. I mean, try getting the back seat of this car and clean this back window inside. Yeah, right. All right, dogs, let's go. Come on, let's get up here. Get the morning going. That's the red eyes sitting here. That's pretty cool. Tell you what, maddening, right? Yeah, maddening. What you're hearing out of my conversation morning is the collection right now. Look at the Mopars. I just think I got the right collection right now. I really do. These are just such nice cars, and they're going bye-bye. And that's what's so maddening. Yeah, come on, pups. Let's get up here. Come on. Get on up here. And let's get the morning going. Get the conversation going. Borderline. It's kind of warm out, but it's kind of cool out. So I guess I better turn the heat on. Where's my assistant, right? Where's my next employee, right? Yeah. Anybody's in small business trying to find somebody in today's world to work. It's not that simple, especially in a very small business like I am. It's very personal, very small relationship, and it's just very challenging. So you find somebody you think that you can make it work on a personal level, if you understand that. So anyways, let me get my camera in here. I had no breakfast this morning. Kind of going on a little different routine here. Trying really to maintain this gird. Oh my gosh, it's the worst. It's just really a trick on how you kind of handle that. Just weird, it cycles. Some days it's just so radical. This is bad stuff. It's not good. You get the Barrett disease, whatever they call it. It's cancer. You go bye. I know people that have died from esophagus cancer. So I know of individuals that have passed. Sadly, this GERD stuff can give you that. I mean, it's not a comforting feeling to think that what I have in my life from not understanding to take antacids, the Tums, and other stuff so many years when I had acid reflux. If I would have been taking that stuff, I wouldn't have this radical GERD problem. GERD's massive throughout the world. It's a massive, major problem. I mean, most people have it. A lot of people have it. Don't even know they have it. If you're clearing your throat, if you're clearing your throat and cough a little bit throughout the day here and there, you got GERD. It doesn't have to be radical, but you got GERD. So if anybody knows somebody that kind of clears their throat, here and there throughout the day, and they kind of cough, nothing radical, but they have GERD. It's a major problem in your esophagus. And so anyways, yeah, that's maddening. And that's maddening for me, just being that I wish I would have known years ago that I should have been taking Tums and other stuff to cut down the acids in my stomach and not have that acid reflux. That's what got my GERD. Huge acid reflux. So anyways, maddening. Okay, so you got to keep it the car theme. And the reason I thought of the maddening conversation this morning, it's just so irritating where we are. It's beyond believable where we are in this country and even the world. It's just the money, the wealth factor. So to give you a heads up, or up to date on the Dodge Demon 170 package, 3,000 to be built statewide and 300 to be built in Canada. I'm not getting one because the dealer has taken the position that whoever throws the biggest dollar amount to him gets the car. So apparently, and this was a conversation came on yesterday, was apparently there's already a guy out in New York that is driving to the dealership here where I live today to pay $100,000 over for the 170 Demon. And he's coming today to sign the paperwork, to sign off. So there's one of two of the Demons allocated that dealership are now gone. The second one was supposed to go to the family's friend, Bruce, that owns Falcon Heating and Air Conditioning. And the owner called him and told him, we need $100K over or more for you to have the car. And he said, well, what's my price? And the owner said, I just told you. And the guy's like, so I don't know. I don't know how that's going to play out. But right now, the friends of the friends that do favors for each other, there's nothing there. Yeah, so it's just maddening. For me as an individual, for many amount of cars I've bought from this one dealership, I can just go through the list of the loyalty that I have had to the brand and to the dealerships. And I usually just kind of stay with one dealership. Once I kind of get a relationship with the right people, I don't leave. I just stay with those people. And so, yeah, for me, yeah, I made the first text of the morning to call for that car, and it doesn't matter. I mean, and it's just maddening. It's maddening because the wealth, the people that have the money in this country is beyond believable. I mean, people look at me, and I've even had conversations on people make comments, and I'm some rich-ass millionaire. I'm not. I'm not. I am a guy that's totally crazy. These cars are all financed to the hilt. Every one of them. Every one of these cars is financed to the hilt. Yes. So it's only me paying bank payments. That's all it is. There's not one car here that I have a title for. There's not one car. I mean, I'm not lying to you. So I am not this rich-ass guy that rethinks him. I'm just a crazy guy that pays huge car payments and is able to finagle barely to keep these cars. You just have no idea. You have no idea. And even the point, it's like, to me, it's like, is it even worth it anymore? Is it even really worth it? I mean, sincerely, it's just like, some people are like, well, you buy all these things for your YouTube channel. Well, I had a lot of cars way before you ever saw me on a YouTube. I can tell you that much. But yeah, okay, sure, right, waste of time. I don't make any money on this channel. Do you know how many people it's just your average person who makes a living of owning their own small business and has as many vehicles as I do, and it's done as crazy things I have. Most of these people, they write checks for these cars. They roll up and they pay for the car, and it's outright owned, and they don't buy another one. I mean, that's the reality to most people. So for me, it's just maddening on how the many cars that I go and buy from Dodge, from Ford, the list goes on and on and on. And the guy that shows up with all the big checkbook gets to have the car. Now, I will give Kuhn's Baltimore Ford credit they have been more diplomatic to me on the nice cars. They really have. So I mean, I have, for the most part, they've been good to me in many aspects. But when you go outside of them, I go to other dealerships. It's who has the checkbook, and I don't give a crap if you bought 50 cars from me or not. I don't care. I'm talking about today's money, not yesterday's money, and that's why I was trying to create that 3-for deal. I can't use the heat. Heat's too warm this morning. The 3-for deal. I was trying to put a deal together where I thought maybe they could make some money off my Challenger, and then they're going to make money off the Ram truck, and then they're going to make money off the Demon. But but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. So their position is, nah, nope. We're just not going to do you any favors, man. And and then it's a story of my car doesn't have great value right now. Yeah, I mean, right now, apparently, this is the conversation I was told yesterday. My Dodge Challenger Hellcat wide body red eye package, there's none for sale in the market in this area. Or I don't know how far they looked, but there's none for sale. There's none out there. But at the auction, he claims that they're seeing the mid 80s at auction, and I'm like, yeah, but you're talking right now where to the auction, you're really going to base this off the auction prices where guys want to steal these things for nothing and then turn around and try to get good money out of them. Meanwhile, he has a non-Hellcat red eye Charger sitting in his showroom. It's like $94,000 for. I mean, it's like, yeah, but anyways, so right now it's very interesting. What's going on in the market with all the people that have these Mopars sitting around? What are they doing? I mean, I've talked about it numerous times. When people start to figure out you're never getting these things ever again because of the stupid ass EV agenda. So yeah, that's what's maddening is the EV agenda more than ever is ruining it for the Ice Age. More than ever. Maddening beyond maddening that the EV age, these whack jobs that are cramming down the throat of today's society, the electric car, is going to resolve the Mother Nature challenges this world. It's just maddening. It really is. And the reason EVs ruin the Ice Age, here's a perfect example. Here's Dodge that's closing the books on bringing incredible power and incredible fun to the marketplace, and they're going to close the books. They're going to close the books, and this is what's incredible. Get on the websites of Car and Driver, Road and Track, Auto Week, whatever, website you go to for the car information, and you're going to see the Dodge Hornet now is being all lit up for the advertising. The Dodge Hornet. The thing looks like a Hyundai SUV. The thing looks like a Nissan SUV. This thing's hideous. And Dodge right now is doing huge promotion of the Dodge Hornet because everybody got fixated in the Dodge Demon, so now they want to try to, toe heel off of that and get everybody riled up about the new Dodge Hornet. I mean, just beyond, it's ugly as hell. Anybody's excited about that thing, I feel sorry for you. I really do. I mean, you're a Dodge Mopar enthusiast, and a Dodge Hornet's going to excite you? Tim Knutskis? I mean, can this guy even fathom what's going on around him at this point? Yeah, so the EV age, it's totally ruining the Ice Age. The Chevy Camaro, GM's officially announced 2024, it's done, it's dead, it's over. So if you're the Chevy Camaro guy, you got one more production year, basically, of product, and then that thing goes bye-bye. And for Ford, thank God Ford's keeping the ice to the pedal as far as the Mustang goes, and they're not giving up on that product, but the other big manufacturers are all just, giving up on the ice. It's maddening. And so the reason I say it's maddening with the Dodge Hellcat Demon is it's a 3,000 run. So only the rich-ass people with the select few, there'll be a select few that are in with the dealership, that are buddy beyond buddies, then I'm sure will get the car at MSRP. And there'll be a select few. There's no doubt. There's going to be a niche, but those will be the keepers for life, or a few of them will take them. They'll just flip them for themselves. And that's the conversation that'll happen, because the dealer had a dealer meeting yesterday about this car price on his Demon. And they don't know who I am. So the conversation, I guarantee you, was, well, hey, this guy, Iceman, if we give this car to this guy like 25 over, he's just going to turn around, he's going to sell it, and he's going to make his $100,000 off of it. So how is that fair? I mean, that's the conversation that is going, I guarantee you, is in the room. And that's how the dealers come to closure that, excuse me, is that how you don't deserve the car, they deserve to make the $100,000. And I kind of get all that. But at the same time, wow, for a loyal customer, just wow, maddening. And then I read an article. Now, I don't think it's factual, but one article is claiming that if the dealer marks up the product, but the owner of the dealership told me yesterday, it's like, how would the ordering process disclose that this guy's paying, over MSRP? How will they know that? So I have no idea. So anyway, some guys, some journalist is making a statement that maybe they're making a statement that should be put in a policy, or just, I don't know. But they were talked about how if you got a car from a dealer and you had to pay 80M, then your order would be kicked to the end. It would be delayed. So, or if you're a demon owner, if you're an existing demon owner, you had priority or authority to get the vehicle, over somebody else. Now, in some aspects, I could kind of believe that, but at the same time, that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, that's kind of because those people got catered to, just like now, where a lot of them paid a lot of money for those cars. Not all of them. Wow, it's just truly maddening of what's going on. Just in the car world. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's just so aggravating. And for the record, I'm sure you watch my show, like, well, so it's all about you. Only you get one. You know what? In all sincereness, that's not really what I'm trying to convey here. What I'm trying to convey here is the rich people of this country that just have boatloads of money. They're just driving the price of everything through the roof. Everything. Because they're just spending. They have too much damn money. I mean, like, well, you have too much damn money. I don't. Yeah, good. I'm glad you think I do. Yeah, so, I mean, I appreciate the positive thoughts and all sincereness, but look at the RV industry. So I was watching a video of the RV man, the wise man, or whatever this guy's YouTube channel is. So, and this is where you really, it's once again, it's kind of maddening. Is anybody seeing this corrupt media machine? This media machine we have, it is so corrupt. And people go to MSNBC, CNN. I don't know. CNN sounds like they're going down the tubes. And how long have you heard that freaking story of CNN? China News Network, Fox News, ABC News, NBC News, CBS News. The list goes on and on and on. But you just have to wonder. You hear all these claims. So apparently the RV industry is borderline getting ready to be in a shambles. Apparently, all these people went out and bought these overpriced RVs, are buried in them. And typically, the average length of the ownership of an RV is 3 years. So a person buys an RV, they keep it for 3 years, and either get a bigger one or small one or get out. So we're coming up here in the near future of the 3-year itch. Yeah, you heard the 7-year itch in marriage? You ever heard that term? Yeah, if you're married, you understand what that is. So the 3-year itch in the RV industry. But all these people are buried up to their eyeballs in RVs they bought, that now there's a gazillion RVs. But who didn't know this was going to play out? I mean, sincerely, who didn't know during the pandemic that the stupid, crazy, everybody going and buying everything they could buy because the government's printing money and handing out money to anybody they could hand it to keep them happy to stay at home as they secretly went out and did all their adventures. And now, here it is. You have a product. I mean, I'm part of it. I've got a bunch of used cars out here that their values today, what they were a year ago, 6 months ago, were 20%, down, if not more. I've got electric vehicles where, I probably had those electric vehicles for a long time. Yeah, can I go finagle a deal and have to write a check to get rid of them? But I'm not going to do it. I ain't doing it. I mean, I'll just continue to keep them and whatever. I guess there's ever a major oil pipeline disruption and explosion of terrorism by the Chinese nationals that are here on our turf by the droves, if you're paying attention to that, the Chinese nationals apparently are starting to show up a lot at the southern border. Apparently, they're kind of starting to make their presence. And what's really interesting is before I kind of get into that, what if we have a major oil shortage? What if you have a major fuel crisis? People have never been around that. In modern times, most people haven't really been through a radical. We've been through some hurricane, gas shortages, and other related storms and stuff like that. But like the 70s, when we had the major, Iran and Saudi Arabia playing with us with the oil. If we ever had a major oil shortage, what do you think these electric vehicles are worth then? Yeah. Do I get my $200,000 for my black F-150 Lightning truck because it doesn't need gas to run around? Do I get $200,000 for my Mach-E because, does that play out? I mean, you don't know where we are today more than ever with China and Russia buddying up. What's it, XI and Putin? Little short man Putin. And is it XI? I don't even know. I'm assuming it's XI. Is it Xi? Is it Xerox with the XI? So, yeah, they seem to be getting along really well. They seem to be really liking each other. They seem to be talking nuclear talk. They seem to be forming an alliance that's not going to be in the best of our interests. But meanwhile, here, we got this dumbass DA guy, in New York City wanting to get all his publicity for going after a guy named Donald Trump with a girl named Stormy Daniels, with a guy named Michael Cohen. Yeah, the triangle, right? The triangle. Who's telling the truth? Who's not telling the truth, right? I mean, what a freaking joke! What a joke! This country's it's maddening. This country's becoming a disgrace. It really is. It really is. If you think about where we are in today's times, of just like I talked about, it's maddening how the electric vehicle industry is overtaking the Ice Age industry and how it's ruining the fun factor for us Ice Age people. And because the EV age is really going to save the world. Anybody believe that? Does anybody really believe that the EV age, at the end of the day, will be the difference of how Mother Nature plays out in this world? I mean, sincerely. I mean, you really believe that? I mean, sincerely, as mankind continues to have the population is growing by how many millions a year or billions or whatever it is. Yeah, mankind, I guess the easiest way to do is the radical way is just start getting rid of people on the earth. There's your answer in all reality. If you're going to be radical. Yeah, so the maddening thing of the Chinese nationalists are showing up at the southern border, but what the Border Patrol says is what's weird about these Chinese nationals is they're usually dressed in nice clothing. They don't look tired. They don't look like they've been on a long journey. So it's kind of like the aliens dropped them off right, a few miles before the southern border and planed them down on the ground for them to come across our border. And then they're just bussed into the country for their future court hearing of why they're here as they disappear. So apparently right now, like in 2021, they captured 430 Chinese nationalists. But apparently this year we're already like 4,400. so they're showing up in the droves and an aspect to that. But what's their goal? What's the plan? I mean, what are they up to? I mean, is anybody it's just when does the surprise happen? Have you ever been laying in bed at nighttime and just thought you're just going to hear this explosion? I mean, I live near the DC area, so I mean, there's so many times I've woken up and woken up in the middle of the night, and I'm just kind of like, you're waiting for the big boom that something's getting ready to happen. I mean, this area, wow. So yeah, it's maddening in aspects of where the ICE industry is going, and it's maddening for all the pricing of the cars, where it's all gone, and it's maddening on how there doesn't seem to be anything radical on really. Has anybody really seen any dealership, out there just begging people to buy cars? I mean, is there any just like the good old days where the manufacturer used to give big discounts to lure you into the dealership to help you buy that car that was already overpriced? And that's the irony to all this is. So many years ago, I used to laugh at how Ford and GM and Dodge have $10,000, $15,000, sometimes close to $20,000 off between the manufacturer's rebates and the dealership itself. And it was like that $70,000 truck really is just a $55,000 truck. But they just made it $70,000 just so that you would, feel good when you paid $55,000 for it. Yeah, I used to always think about that how it's just overpriced. and they just brought the manufacturers knew that, and so they would purposely overprice them only to discount them to the reality of what the price was, but you felt really good about the deal, right? That was the good old marketing days of the manufacturers. But then COVID came along, and every Yahoo in town got to sit home and get a check in the mail every week from the government, and the list goes on and on and on. And everybody started going out and just buying all this stuff, and whatever the price was, who cares? You got the PP loan monies. That was billions of dollars. So people are like, I don't care, I just want it today. So, that truck's $70,000? Heck yeah, I'll pay that. There's no rebates. Oh, who cares? I don't need that. That ain't my money. It's the government money I just got. This is free money, dude. I want it. I'm taking it. Yeah, that's kind of what played out. So everything was overpriced, but then the manufacturers knew they had to rebate them if people didn't take the bait, right? Well, think of this. Apparently Tesla in China is running other EV manufacturers out of business. Yeah, you need to look into this. Apparently Tesla, right now over in China, the market is so competitive that they're saying, I don't know the exact numbers, I'm hearing like 25 to 30% less. Tesla has discounted their cars 25 to 30% less than they were just like 6 months to a year ago. I haven't heard the number 50%. But what's going on over in China's car market is these startup EV makers are getting killed. They're getting slaughtered because of Elon Musk and Tesla discounting their cars just overnight by radical numbers. So it's making it very, very difficult for these newbie startups, and just the companies have been in business only for so long that they're just getting cremated by Tesla. So I thought to myself, wow, think this through. And even there in our country, Tesla definitely has made a little bit of a statement here as well by discounting their cars like 10%, 12%, maybe 15%. And it has kind of changed the market somewhat in our own country. Not radical, but it definitely has kind of opened the eyes of the big auto execs of what Tesla's doing. So this is what you have to think through. Did Elon Musk from day one build a very expensive car? I mean, in some aspects he had no choice, but at the other aspect, did he intentionally have a game plan, like a 10-year game plan, 5-year game plan, that he thought to himself, I'm going to build these Teslas, and I'm going to have them at premium price, but I'm going to have incentives for them. The consumer's going to have tax breaks. The consumer's not going to buy for gas, and they can lease them, and the list goes on and on and on. So he built a whole business model, very expensive Teslas, even though that wasn't the proposal to the federal government back in like 2007 or whatever year it was that he proposed to get the $1 billion loan that he would build an affordable car for the people. Yeah, has anybody seen that play out? That didn't really play out per se. So anyways, so for Elon, you really now have to kind of scratch your head and say to yourself, like I was just talking about the automotive manufacturing in our country, just so many, just 3 years ago, 4 years ago, the trucks would be priced so expensively in the SUVs, but they always would roll out these big rebates, so you really kind of get a better price on a truck. But the manufacturer really knew that really was the real price, but you just felt better. Well, with Elon Musk, it sounds to me like this guy's intentionally had, could you call it price fixing? I mean, think this through. I don't think you'd ever be able to prove that, but he intentionally inflated the price of the cars so that other manufacturers would follow in his footsteps, thinking they could get a lot of money for electric vehicles, even though his plan was in a war. It's a war in business. It's war, basically. How you treat others unto others. Look at Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis. Is that a mini war going on right now between those two? So if you look at what Elon did, he lured a lot of manufacturers into the industry in China, and they built business models based off of, I guarantee you, Elon's Tesla cars. And now Elon has cut the heck out of the price on the cars, and a whole shock to the startup companies and some of the new, younger, existing companies, where they're now not in a position to be able to cut the prices on their cars like Tesla, because he's got a bigger handle on production and manufacturing and investments and everything else, and that he's just going to obliterate a lot of these smaller guys that are going to be run out of business. Where Elon, intentionally built a business model with him knowing in the end the big guys and other people would try to play with his product line and compete with him. But secretly, they had a plan that they would eventually just do a huge price discount once everybody started getting the game, just to take away the competition. Wow. Has anybody talked about that in the automotive world? I'd be willing to venture that business model was probably made. I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? If you're a business person and you're in that type of manufacturing, you got to be thinking 10 years. You got to be looking at 10-year, where are you 10 years from now? Where are you 5 years from now? Already we're hearing all the language of 2035, that this state and this country, you can't sell an ICE vehicle. New that is, not used. So if anybody here is thinking, and I guarantee people like, oh, you can't buy an ICE vehicle in 2035. You can buy an ICE vehicle in 2035. It just can't be brand new. It has to be an existing car in the market that's not a 2035 build date. Yeah, right. Does that play through on this EV beyond crazy agenda? So yeah, maddening. Just really maddening. What's going on in this country and the amount of wealth that, I just don't get it. How does the average guy anymore afford? You're not seeing the crash. You're not seeing people that are losing their homes, losing their cars, losing their jobs. I don't know. And that's what I'm saying. The media machine is so corrupt. Are they talking about this? Does in the general aspect of our country, in so many smaller towns and cities, are there incredible hardships going on? But this media machine will not talk about it because they support this frickin' idiot, Joe Biden, and its regime in power, and the political powers that are all around him, and they're disclosing, they're uncovering how Garland and the Biden administration purposely looked at parents that protested the education system of our schools in our country, especially Loudoun County, Virginia, where I live, and they basically target them as a terrorist organization and terrorist individuals because they wouldn't go and abide by their views and ideas. Is anybody getting how this is a true dictatorship? You've elected dictators into office. If you don't think that, you're oblivious to what these people are doing to undermine your rights, this country. You're just saying, oh, this guy's radical. How am I radical? I'm not the guy out there, telling you how to live your life. I am not. I'm not the guy tarnishing you or, just it's maddening. We're living in maddening times. And what corrects that? What corrects the maddening? Unfortunately, it's usually not, people just sitting by silently and being the nicest of people of what's going on in this country and just the control more than ever of big business. Does anybody remember that the Democratic Party's position was they want to attack big business? Does anybody remember these conversations? Yet big business more than ever is controlling this country more than ever. Ever. Is anybody figuring this stuff out? Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Well, here's a thought. Guess my electric vehicles are going to be worth a lot of money. These Chinese nationalists, what are they going to do? They going to do a cyber attack on the fuel terminals? Sincerely, the EV agenda. What's the big pipeline? The Nordstrom pipeline over there in the ocean that got blown up for the lithium or the natural gas pipeline that got blown up. If you don't think these EV radical people don't start getting their ways, you don't think they're going to go blow up the Colonial Pipeline or traditional pipeline or cyber attack these terminals? If you don't think that's going to happen, yeah, you're kidding yourself. These people get radical. You get George Soros with a money factor out there that starts figuring out how he can advance his socialist regime, Venezuela lifestyle, policies to make so many suffer, and only stuck for you to get to be enriched and have the life of the life. Maddening times, I'm telling you. And once again, what spurred this morning? It's just the fact that For me as an individual, I've been so loyal to buying cars and the brand, Dodge brand, Ram brand, Jeep brand. And, for me, does Dodge say, hey, this guy Iceman, this guy gets the Demon because he's been so loyal. He's bought so much product from our company. He deserves this vehicle. But no, you have a guy that that just is driving from New York to the dealership this morning that maybe he's never even bought a Dodge product in his whole lifetime. But he wants this because his real plan is to flip it and make $100,000, $200,000. He could be an auction guy. He could be a wholesale guy. Who knows who this person is? I'd be amazed if they're going to keep it for himself. I'll just be amazed. Because you spend that type of money to keep for yourself, that's a lot of money. And you think that through, it's a lot of money for you to keep for yourself forever. For what? Yeah, now do the used Demons 2018 start populating the market? I don't think they will. Yes, what do I do next? Oh, I don't know. What? And here's another thing. My dealer texted me a picture or video of the 37 Raptor that hit his dealership, and it's gone. One day and gone. I mean, it's you get these YouTube people that have these followers, all the doom and gloom, and that's all I talk about is the doom and gloom. And they have massive followers, man. I'm doing it all wrong. I need to start the doom and gloom channel, man. I really do. I need to start driving around and just start making up stories, all this BS of how everybody's going broke and everything's going south. I mean, I guess I just need to do that. I mean, sincerely, is that, just maddening that you have these YouTubers, all they do is talk all day long about it. Nobody has any money. Really? I'm not seeing it, man. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the car dealerships where I live where the lights have turned off. The motorcycle dealers that I know, the lights haven't turned off. The people doing, renovation work and doing hobby or handyman work and construction of homes. These guys are full blown. They're not hurting for business. The road infrastructure work and the office buildings, it's infinite. It's infinite. The area I live, there's nothing going on to show of any real economic hardships going on. Yeah, it's just maddening, right? It's maddening of but then yet the banks are insolvent. Are they? Aren't they? No, they don't be insolvent because the federal government just keep on printing money so that we're all insolvent. That's the real answer. Is anybody figuring this out? You're insolvent because we have a governing body in this country that's running into the ground where the values of everything is so great could possibly change. And here's my assistant. So, hey, everybody. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel this morning. And who's my assistant? Let's see who my new assistant is right here. Who? Wow. Who is that? Yeah, wow. So everybody, hey, thanks for watching and appreciate the support and share the information with others. Hit subscribe. Make it so it's worth my time to do this stuff, or it's just maddening. Do I quit doing it? Because it's maddening. There's just no money in this. There's nothing in this gig, man, but is it worth it? All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Stay safe. God bless. Stay tuned. What?
Why would you quit?
The kid said, why would I quit? And she's a supporter. There you go. Support. All right, God bless.